allegation is that you did deliberately with the intent to kill and with premeditation kill and murder one Ashley Lachey Elkins.
Nearly a month after Ashley Elkins vanished, her ex-boyfriend has been charged with her murder.
This does not bring complete closure, but we know that this is the journey to justice.
I have the disturbing case out of Michigan and what Ashley Elkins' family and the prosecutor are saying about the murder of the mother of two. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Angenette Levy. Ashley Elkins' family was hoping for a much different outcome, but now they have had to deal with this horrible reality that their daughter, sister, and mother is not coming home, although police say they still have not found Ashley Elkins' body. The last time anyone heard from Ashley Elkins was on January 2nd. The mother of two left her home in Warren, Michigan, north of Detroit, and was never seen or heard from again. That date, January 2nd, is very important because Ashley's family told WDIV-TV that her ex-boyfriend, Deandre Booker, had made an appointment at her home salon 2 days earlier using a different name. He knocked on the door, and Ashley told everyone to stay quiet. Booker eventually left. 2 days later, Ashley Elkins left her home around 8:30 a.m. That was on January 2nd in her silver Chevy Malibu and was never seen again. 5 days later, her car was found a couple of miles from Deandre Booker's home. Booker was arrested the next day in Flint, Michigan, and brought back to Roseville, Michigan, where he lived. He was charged with lying to police. During his court appearance for that charge of lying to police, the prosecutor said Booker searched the internet for some things that really piqued their interest, including fastest routes from Flint to Ohio, what to do while on the run, is blood traceable, how to beat a polygraph test, and deleting Google search history. Police spent days searching a landfill looking for Ashley Elkins' body as her family, including her two sons who were just 10 and 7, waited for answers. To this day, police still haven't found Ashley Elkins' body, but they said they found evidence in Deandre Booker's apartment that led them to believe that she had been murdered, including a significant amount of blood.
There was blood recovered from the apartment. It was analyzed by the State Police Crime Lab, and it wasn't matched to Ashley. There was blood recovered, it was a match, and it was enough to get the charges authorized today, and we'll leave it at that.
Late last week, Macomb County Prosecutor Peter Lucido charged Deandre Booker with murdering Ashley Elkins.
And sir, please state your name for the record.
Deandre Booker.
All right, Mr. Ling, again, with regard to the arraignment on the new information you've been provided today.
Your Honor, I have been provided the new information. We would waive the formal reading and stand mute.
All right.
Booker said very little as the judge asked him questions and entered a not guilty plea on his behalf.
Mr. Booker, have you had an ample opportunity to talk to your attorney?
Not today, but yesterday, yes.
Has he gone over your rights with you?
Yes.
Do you understand all of those rights?
Yes.
Do you have any questions regarding those rights?
No.
Do you know what the charges are in the new information at this time?
I don't.
All right. Can we
You might as well read them, Your
read the
Honor.
charges, counsel? Just so that he knows what he's charged with, okay? Or I can do it, whatever you prefer.
You could read them all.
That's fine. Sir, you are charged with count 1, homicide, murder, first degree, premeditated. The allegation is that you did deliberately with the intent to kill and with premeditation kill and murder one Ashley Lachey Elkins, contrary to MCL 750.316. That is a felony with a possible penalty of life without parole. Count 2, tampering with evidence. Criminal case punishable by up to more than 10 years. Did knowingly and intentionally remove, alter, conceal, destroy, or otherwise tamper with evidence to be offered in a criminal case where the crime was punishable by a maximum term of imprisonment of more than 10 years or imprisonment for life of any term of years. That is a felony punishable by up to 10 years and or $20,000.
Those charges include dead body disinterment and mutilation and concealing the death of a person. Booker's attorney argued that he should be released on bail.
I realize the seriousness of this offense. However, according to MCR 6.106B, He does not fit the category where bond can be denied, even though it is a murder charge, because he has no prior violent felonies, and he, at the time, is not on bond or parole or probation for any violent felony. Therefore, under 6106C, the court must order the pretrial release of defendant on personal recognizance or on unsecured appearance bond, unless the court thinks he would be a danger to the public and or a flight risk. And, Your Honor, I would reiterate what I iterated before, that Mr. Booker would not be a flight risk. He has lived in either Detroit, Ann Arbor, or Macomb County his entire life. He has ties to the community here in terms of past jobs, family, etc. And if we look at the worry about him being gone, he could be placed on a steel cuff tether, so his whereabouts would be known at all times.
Now, keep in mind, they had those internet searches where the prosecution said that Deandre Booker was looking at how to go on the run from Flint, Michigan to Ohio, and he was searching for other things about whether or not blood is traceable. Booker's lawyer reiterated that he has no prior criminal record and no history of mental health issues, but the prosecutor said Booker should not be released on bail.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, I believe counsel is misreading 6.106. I believe this defendant can be remanded with no bond, at least for a period of about 90 days. And I would ask for that. If this court is inclined to grant some sort of monetary bond, I would ask for something in the neighborhood of $5 million cash, no 10%.
In the end, the judge ordered Deandre Booker to be held without bail. While the first-degree murder charge has been filed, Prosecutor Lucido said that the investigation is far from over.
We've had a huge amount of media that has been asking questions, but we couldn't give answers until the completion of the investigation. But be that as it may, it's still going on, which means other information, evidence, it could be digital or it could be otherwise, that comes in. So we want to, number one, be respectful of the privacy of this family who's lost a loved one. We also want to be non-repetitive.
Ashley's family attended Booker's court appearance. A spokesperson answered questions on their behalf. The family, of course, is grieving, and they're trying to come to terms with the fact that Ashley is gone.
You know, the family was frustrated when we started out, right? When Ashley first went missing. We know that law enforcement hands are tied oftentimes. We feel that society as a whole should take these cases more seriously. Just as there's an Amber Alert, we're saying there should be an Ashley Alert. Right? When a young woman goes missing and there's reason to believe she's in harm's way, there should be more done. But as it relates to what's been done by Roseville Police, and since that point, nothing but accolades. They've done a fantastic job. The family's appreciative of all of those agencies that participated in the search for Ashley at the landfill. They've communicated with us on a regular basis. I'm going to keep saying this, Chief Berlin has been excellent in how he's worked with the family, and so we're appreciative of everything they've done. We started with Warren Police Department, Roseville Police Department. We know the prosecutors have worked on this. We appreciate it because, you know, we know there's a lot of families that don't get this level of attention, whether it's from the media or law enforcement. And we feel that everyone should get this level of attention. So we're appreciative of what they've done to this point.
The relationship between Ashley Elkins and Deandre Booker had ended last year, but family members are not saying much more about the relationship other than it had ended.
Yeah, we can't really speak to those details. We've said in the past that they had broken up back in September, and we've made it clear that, you know, we can't speak to motive. I can't get in the mind of a murderer, of a psychotic killer, so we'll leave it at that for now.
Condolences.
So there you heard it. They called him a psychotic killer, and you can tell they have a lot more to say about this relationship and how it ended, but they're just not going to say anything at this point that's going to jeopardize the investigation. The family, meanwhile, wants people to remember Ashley for the loving mother that she was.
Beautiful young lady. You know, remember mostly that she was a mother of a 10-year-old and 7-year-old. So you have two young boys out there who don't have a mother. So the community should, you know, feel for those children. She has a mother here, she has siblings. a full family, a wealth of community members and supporters and friends out there who loved her tremendously. You've heard her mom say multiple times, she was the life of the party. Everyone loved her, cared for her, and she cared for them, but she was a mom who fought and cared and took care of her children. I mean, that's what he took away.
You can imagine that the boys are having an incredibly difficult time dealing with losing their mother.
It's tough. You know, Mom has mentioned multiple times they're having nightmares. The youngest doesn't quite comprehend this and what's going on. And so it's going to take a village to wrap around them and support them. But this is tough, and we can imagine that going through the court process over these next few months or year or so, it's going to be even tougher. So.
As Ashley Elkins' family tries to find their way and prepares for the court process ahead, the search for Ashley's remains continues. The question was asked, will they ever find Ashley's body?
I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic. I'd like to go ahead and tell you yes, but it's only if somebody or evidence points to where that happens. Somebody may cooperate in the investigation. Sometimes it takes a little bit.
Now remember, that landfill was searched for several days, but Elkins' body was not found. But Prosecutor Lucido says that may not matter when it comes to getting a conviction for Ashley Elkins' murder.
Past practice is what I rely on for future performance here. This county has seen, since I've been practicing almost 40 years, 4 cases that I'm very familiar with that have had no body and have had total conviction. Because there's no other way sometimes to explain it when you don't have a body except all of the evidence that's been accumulated.
Finding Ashley Elkins' body would bring some comfort to her family, especially her 2 young sons.
Someday, that the questions can be answered and be given to those 2 little boys. Because we all have families in here, let's face it. Nobody wants to be sitting here and going through this. This is extremely painful. And the thought of trying to bring her home and get closure at that time wasn't a success, but we're going to go ahead and do everything we can to purge forward and make sure that justice is going to be in this case. The reality is he's innocent until proven guilty. And everything that we say at this point here, we want to make sure that you have that information in the message that you're leaving to those individuals that wanted to know about the open questions.
And the prosecutor said there are people out there who may have information that could help the investigation. Take a listen.
The individuals that were a part of, let's say, this investigation, they're not talking. So we'll go from there.
And investigators are hoping that those people who know something about Ashley's murder, will start talking. Last week, on a GoFundMe for Ashley's sons, a post said, "We lit up the sky with candles, phone lights, and a flurry of emerald and purple balloons in honor of Ashley Lachey Elkins. We will love her forever and never give up finding her. For her 2 beautiful young sons, your donations are so very much appreciated. They will fuel the fire that ignites their dreams and helps them achieve their future goals. These funds will never take the place of their love and devotion their mother provided, but your donations can help to ensure they want for nothing else. Again, thank you all so much for your donations, and please do share this with all you know." That is the concern for Ashley Elkins' family right now, getting justice for her and caring for those 2 little boys who now have to grow up without their mother. Deandre Booker is scheduled to be back in court this week and next week. Next week, a preliminary hearing is scheduled. And that's it for this episode of Crime Fix. I'm Angenette Levy. Thanks so much for being with me. I'll see you back here next time.